Good morning and welcome to the New South Wales State Archives mini webinar program. Today we're going to talk about our digital shipping lists. We're starting on the New South Wales State Archives website homepage. So our address is records.nsw.gov.au. On our homepage, you'll see our picture of the Sydney Harbour Bridge, and if you scroll down, you'll see our link to our catalogue, collection search, and keep scrolling down to some popular links to various parts of the website. Today, we are going to look at the immigration and shipping resources. So we'll just click on that. This will take you to our immigration and shipping page. The first thing that you'll see is our immigration and shipping guide. This provides information about the immigration and shipping records held in the New South Wales State Archives collection. You can come back and read that at any time. If we go down further, you'll see our link to the digital shipping lists. We'll look at that in a moment. For now, we're going to look at the Assisted Immigrants Index. So we can start by clicking on the title here, and that will take us to information about the index. So you'll see there's details about the records included in the index. And down further, we've got details about the sorts of abbreviations you'll find in the index, information about aliases, and the indexing procedures used to compile the index, as well as some other information that's useful for when you're searching this index. Then you can click on Search the Index, and that will take you to the search box. So in the search box here, I can type the name of a person that I am searching. So today I am looking for Benjamin Burns. So we find that Benjamin Burns, who's 36, came out on the Shakamatsan in 1863, arriving at Sydney. Now, I can also think about Benjamin in terms of, did he have a wife and family that came out with him? So the other thing I could do on this index, I'll just take Benjamin's name out. I could put the name of the ship in to see if there's any other people with the surname Burns on board that ship. And indeed, there are other people with the surname Burns who came out on the Shakamatsan. Now, I can see too that there seems to be two voyages, one in 1859 and one in 1863. So I can narrow my search down further by just limiting it to 1863 by typing the year in there, clicking enter, and then I'll come up with this list of people with the surname Burns who arrived on board the Shakamatsan in 1863. So we can see here we've got a Benjamin and a Margaret who were aged 36 and a range of children. So Robert, Mary, James, and William and Margaret on board that ship. So that to me looks like it's possibly a family group, but we'll go and have a look at the digital passenger lists and see what that can tell us. So to do that, we will just go back to our homepage and back down to our immigration and shipping guides and resources. Here's the index we just looked at, and then right above that is our link to the digital shipping lists. So these are just listed on the website by date, so strict chronological order, going from 1828 all the way down to 1896. So there's a lot of ships listed here, as you see going down, still in 1829. So the easiest way to find the name of the ship that you're after is to do a Control F search. So just hit Control and F on your keyboard at the same time, and then put the name of the ship that you are searching for in that search box. So the Shakamatsan comes up with two hits, that 1859 voyage, and then if I look for that second hit, I come back with the 1863. Now that I've found that, I can click on the name of the ship and it will take me to the copy of the passenger list. Now, the passenger lists are generally arranged by listing the married couples first and any children that might be coming out with those married couples. Then they might list any widows with children on board the ship, then single females, single males, or vice versa. So here we can see that that's followed through. We've got the married couples first on this first page, and you'll see they're listed alphabetically. We've got surnames Banks to Brown, No Burns on this page, so we'll go over to page 2. And here we've got Brown, and then we've got Burns. And lo and behold, this is our Burns family that we're searching for. So Benjamin, Margaret, and then the children, Margaret, Mary, James, William, Robert, and Anne, in age order. So we get quite a bit of detail about the immigrants on board this ship. We see that Benjamin and Margaret are married and they're 36 respectively. Then we see all the children by gender and age, ranging from 12 down to 2. The next column across will show us the calling or the occupation of each person. So we've got the labourer as Benjamin, Margaret's listed as his wife, and Margaret, the daughter, is a servant. The other children are a bit younger, starting from 10 down to 2, so possibly a little bit young to be working at those ages. The next column across shows us that the family comes from County Lanarkshire, and then that they're Presbyterian, and the last column here shows their level of education. So Benjamin, Margaret, and Margaret the daughter could all read and write. Mary, James, William, and Robert are recorded as being able to read, and the little ditto sign there means read, 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 under read. And then little Anne at 2 basically couldn't read or write, so possibly no surprises there. At the top of the page here, we know that we're on the correct ship. We're looking at the Shakamaksan, and we see the date of arrival, 3rd of September 1863. Further along in the list, we'll see the names of the migrants for the single females. So we can see there they're all listed alphabetically again, and their ages sort of range from 18 into the 20s and the 30s and 40s. Again, we see that their occupations are listed, then their native places, their religion, and finally whether they could read and write. Moving along further through the list, you'll then see the single males. So what page are we on? It's difficult to see what page you're on just by looking at this screen here. However, if I go right up to the top and into my browser bar, you can see here that we're on page 12. So that's helpful to know that we're on page 12. I might just go back to page 11. And here we can see the start of that list of the single males and the end of the single females there. So again, these are all people in their late teens, travelling without parents, and into their 20s, into their 30s. Again, we've got their occupations, native place, religion, and their level of education. If I go to page 15, the last page of this list, you'll come up with a statistical roundup about the voyage. So they've called this the Recapitulation, and it gives us details such as the number of emigrants on board the ship, dividing them by male, female, adult, children. It tells us there were 381 souls, equivalent to 329 statute adults. It gives us the details of the deaths on board the voyage. So it tells us that there were 4 infants who died, INFT, infant under 1 year, and 4 adults who passed away as well. On the right-hand side of the page there, again, we've got the details of the deaths on board the voyage. We've got the date that the ship departed from Liverpool in May 1863, arrives in September 1863, number of days on the voyage, 115 days, tonnage of the vessel, name of the master, name of the surgeon. And then down the bottom here, it also tells us where the ship was built at Philadelphia. So it's quite interesting to see that level of detail there. If I go back, I can click here or go up. I can click here to search the online index. And just before I do that, I'll just show you that you can zoom in to see anything in a little bit more detail there. So you can sometimes find that you can read that a little bit more easily when it's bigger, and then you can zoom back out and just pop that back into the center there. So I can go back to search the online index again, and that will take me back to our shipping resources, and then I can click down here to search the index, And if I just go back to where we were, if I return to ships list, that will take me to the digital shipping lists where we were before, where all those ships are listed. So if you've got another ship you want to check out, again, Control F search, look for the name of the ship, and then go and open that one as well. On this page here, we've got information under the passenger list. We've got information about the project to digitise these lists, so some technical detail about the image quality and how we went about that project. In case you didn't know, we've microfilmed these lists a long time ago, and then this project we digitised from the microfilm, and that's what's on this page here. And we've also got information about what was included in the digitisation and what wasn't included. If you scroll down just a little bit more here, you can see a link to our main webinar for our immigration and shipping and arrival records. So this looks at the records as a whole, and you're welcome to go and watch that at any time. It's on our webinar page, and it's also linked here and at our shipping guide as well, and that just goes into more detail about shipping records held in the New South Wales State Archives collection as a whole. So that's basically the webinar for today. I'd like to thank you all for coming, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.